Okay, everybody, for those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and welcome to It's Quest Time. Now, before we get going, I'm going to ask if all you can stay off of this raised up stage area here. This way nobody blocks this big display behind me, right? And gives me a little bit of room to move around and do the whole presentation thing, right? Now, if I can direct your attention to the menu wheel in your lower left, we're going to notice that there is a microphone icon at the top of that menu wheel. When that microphone icon is clear, that means we can hear you and everything that's happening in your environment. So we've gone ahead and we've turned that to red. This means if somebody comes into your space and says, "Hey, are you still on that thing?" Feel free to answer them because we're not going to hear any of that. Likewise, if somebody, maybe you have a barking dog in the background, you're not going to face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that suddenly started barking during its quest time, right? Now, you're also going to notice that just because you're muted, it doesn't mean you can't express yourself. You're going to notice that there's a pink-cheeked emoji in your menu wheel. Press on that, it opens up your emoji panel, and that offers you a wide variety of options with which to express yourself. You're going to notice, for example, if when you click on this, the panel opens up in front of you, and maybe I say something really deep, something really powerful, and it builds up inside you. You can just let it out, just let it flow, just like that. Maybe I got some backup dancers backstage, right? And they come out and we break in the It's Quest Time, the musical, right? Well, you can throw up the applause that I live for just like that, and I can take a moment to drink it all in because it feels good. All right, maybe I ask you guys a yes or no question. You can say yes by smiling like this. You can say no by frowning like this. You can show me that you're laughing. If I say something funny, you can show me the silly face emoji to indicate you're laughing. And then there's this. This is not how you ask a question. This is how you alert me to a problem. Like if I'm moving my hands around, it looks like I'm talking, and you're like, wow, it really looks like he's talking up there, but there's no sound coming out. What's going on, right? That's the kind of thing. If I see one of them go up, I'm just going to keep on going. But if I see 5 of them going up at one time, I know there's a problem I need to address. Like maybe, just maybe, this, the display behind me suddenly bursts on fire because, well, sometimes our moderators have been known to turn against me and try to burn down the event. Yeah, there you go. And that would be one of them right there. My wife Fury helping out today. All right. So yeah, now just give everybody an idea of what Quest Time's all about. And I'm going to ask you some questions while you still have those panels open. Now, Quest Time's an event for Oculus Quest users, but all are welcome. So if you're on another device, feel free to hang out. You might pick up some information that helps our growing Quest community. There's a lot of new questions coming in each and every day. And while you got the panel open, let me ask you guys some questions. How many of you are on a Quest right now? Bring me up some hearts if you're on a Quest. Show some hearts or some love if you're on a Quest. Anybody on a Quest today? Let me see. All right, well, that's a lot of you. All right, that's good. How many of you are not on a Quest, but you're thinking about getting one? And some smiley faces if you're thinking about getting a Quest and you're not on one. Anybody? All right, cool. How many of you are new to Altspace? Show me some smiles if you're new to Altspace. Any new users? Okay, 1, 2. Oh, okay, wow. Oh, wow, a lot of wow. Okay, woo. All right. How many of you, are new to the Quest itself? Like you just recently got your Quest. Show me some smiles if you're new to the Quest itself. All right, cool. So some fairly new users here today. All right, that's good. All right, so now you can press the X button to close the emoji panel, but it's a good idea to keep it open during events like this. It's a great way to give me feedback. But more importantly, it lets the people around you know what you're experiencing, right? So if the person next to you starts going like this, that means they found something funny. And you may not agree. You might be like, well, that's not funny at all. I'm going to go stand over here. And you can do that. This is VR. Now, listen, when my Quest was about to arrive, I was really looking forward to getting that left hand. Because before that, I was on an Oculus Go, which a lot of you know that has, one controller, right? And so I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm used to talking with my hands a lot. So when I was on Oculus Go, I would just kind of go in like this with the one hand, and I didn't feel like I was expressing myself as fully as I could. But when my Quest did arrive, I took one look at the controllers and I realized, man, that's a lot of buttons, right? It's a lot to take in. And it can take a couple of days to about a week to get used to these controls. I like to go over them because there might be some things that you missed with them. And you maybe, listen, because if you're here already, you already know the basics. You know the left thumbstick's going to move around like this. You know the right thumbstick's going to turn in these circles. And you know that when you combine them, you can get these big, elaborate circles that make my presentation so much more dramatic. If everybody can go in these big circles here like this way when I look out into the audience, it looks like you're all ballroom dancing. Let me get a look at that. I'm going to get in on this. Yeah, all right, cool. Let's just move around like this. Now, I always say, I wish you guys could see what this looks like. Right? As I look at the stage and I look out and I see you guys and it looks like you're ballroom dancing. And now you can, because now we have a YouTube channel. If you look and you see Raven Eye floating up there, that is our YouTube camera. And if you want to look out and wave to YouTube, you totally can. Be like, hey, YouTube, how's it going? Come on in Allspace. It's a lot of fun. We got Chris here. We got my wife Fury here. We got Meow over here. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not going to the names. We got John 34 59 over here. We got Branson right here with the with the complex questions. We got Yee, one of our regulars. So yeah, we got a lot of people in here. That's how we're doing. But yeah, you can totally wave out like that. But some of these controllers, though, they're not very obvious. Some of them actually have more than one behavior attached to them. So like I said, I like to go over these. And if you're already familiar with these controls, don't worry about it. We combine this with some movement exercises so everybody can still have some fun while some of the newer users are skilling up, right? The first one we're going to talk about is this grip button on the right and the left controller. This is how you're going to interact with your environment. That's how I'm grabbing this laser pointer right here. And if I want to, I can move it to my other hand. This is how you're going to interact with fireworks, basketballs, and your grip button basically is exactly what it sounds like. It's how you grip objects, right? But let's say that you're building worlds with your own two hands in Altspace. Let's say you have, your world beta program turned on in your main menu, and you're going to build worlds with your own two hands, and you go to grab an object, right? And when you have an object in the world editor, and all of a sudden you go to turn around, you think, I'm just going to move my right thumbstick and I'll turn. But as soon as you turn, the object is going to get bigger. That's because when you're grabbing something in the world editor, when you move your thumbstick left or right, it's going to change the size or the scale of the object. When you move your thumbstick up or down, it's going to push the object away or it's going to pull it closer to you, right? And that's important to keep in mind, right? Another thing that has a dual behavior is your left thumbstick here, right? Now, this doesn't just move you around. This does something else. The first time I came into Altspace on a quest, I went to the campfire to try it out to see what it was like. And I walk into the campfire and I noticed something weird, right? I mean, I felt good because I got a new device. I felt like I was walking on air, right? But not that good because I noticed everyone around me was much shorter than me. And I'm like, what's going on? And I look down and I find I'm floating this high off the ground. I don't know what's going on, right? Reason for this is on a quest, you have to worry about your vertical height. Is anyone willing to change their vertical height for me to go up a little bit higher or scooch down a little bit? Anybody? Let's see. You sure you want to come over here and show everybody what happens when you press down on that left thumbstick? Press down on that left thumb, boom, just like that. That's called recentering. If you find your vertical height changes, like you find you feel too tall or you feel too short, all you do is you press down on that left thumbstick and you're gonna, recenter and you'll be a lot more comfortable. If your vertical height changes like that. Also, one tip, if you're looking down, like I noticed, Meow, you're looking down when you do it, right? If you're looking down, that doesn't count. You gotta look straight ahead and hit it, all right? And that'll change it. Because if you're looking down when you do that, your legs kind of pick up off the ground. It's all in the head, really. So you look just straight ahead and you press that left thumbstick. I see a hand going up there, Maddie. If you have a question or comment, we'll be taking them at the end, so kind of hang on to that for a little bit, okay? Another thing you got to keep in mind is on your left controller. Now, listen, if you're having a room scale experience, like you're standing up in your play space there, and you walk out past your main menu, those collections of circles on your lower left, that's usually about the time somebody tells you to open your main menu, and you're like, where is this thing? And you start looking around for it, right? And it's like always behind you. And this starts to get, you can see where this would get on your nerves after a while, right? Because you're looking for this thing. Turns out that your main menu is in your hands at all times, right? Some handy information. All you have to do is you have on your left controller, you've got this flat button down toward the bottom. And anytime you press it, your menu is going to open. And if you press it again, your menu is going to close. I like to combine that with like a hand flick, right? Like this, boom, and my menu's open. Then I do it again, and my menu's closed, just like that. You don't have to do the hand flick. I just think it's cool. I like to do it. It's kind of like a style thing, right? My menu's open, my menu's closed, just like that. All right. Now, another thing you can do, be aware of here is on your left controller. Now, listen, actually, while these buttons seem like a lot, right, keep in mind if you're new, right, a lot of these buttons do the same thing, and this can make it a little bit easier. As a matter of fact, this select button here and this trigger button here on your right controller, and if you have your left pointer enabled, this select button on your left controller, all of these do the same thing. If you hold down your right trigger button right now and you move through the audience, you're going to see everybody's name tag appear above their head. That's how I know everybody's names so quick. That's how I know that this is Jack Sanders 6, and this is G-Man, and this is Branson over here, and this is Anna in the pink, right? And we got Chris in the, it's like a reddish kind of orange type deal, right? And in the green, that kind of looks like me a little bit. It's Maddie, right? So you got, all this, basically you can see everybody's name tag really quickly just by moving your hand just like that through the crowd. Now on your left controller, you're going to have a trigger button there too. And this does something different. If you're moving around, whether you're flying or walking in Altspace, and you squeeze down on your left trigger, you're going to find you start going really fast. I can throw myself into the audience, right? And we can start going in the big circle here. If everybody wants to join me, they can. We can go in and make a tornado, make a hurricane, we can make it rain, people. Let's go in a big circle here. Everybody, just come around. Let me see what kind of formation you got going on here. If this makes you dizzy, you probably shouldn't do this thing. You should probably stop. Let me get a good look and see what this looks like. How you guys doing? All right, that's not really like a circle. I'd call it a figure eight, but that would be generous. This is just a mess, really. They're not very organized today. You guys are going to need to work on this a little bit more. Last week's group was like a nice solid circle. I'm very disappointed audience, I have to say. All right, let's move on to something else, because that's just what that is. Oof, wow. Okay, on the right controller and the left controller, you have these teleport buttons, right, in your hands at all times. So this is a fun way to get around. I hope you're in a line dash teleport because it feels like flinging yourself across the room. It's a lot of fun. If you join me up along this wall here, right, and you hold down on your right teleport button, what you're going to find, hey, Hummingbird, thanks for making it. What you're going to find is if you aim at the ground, you're going to see your teleport circle appear on the floor there, right? And you can aim it across the room with your right controller, holding down the teleport button. As soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room. Everybody teleport on over me. See what that feels like. Now, if you hold down your left teleport button and aim back to the other side of the room, as soon as you let go, boom, right across the room. Now, another cool thing you can do is you can hold down both teleport buttons at the same time and aim them at the ground, make like an X, and as soon as you let go, you zig and you actually, you're supposed to zigzag. I only zig. Let's try that again. Zig, zag. There we go. A little bit better there. Let's try that again. Zig, zag. There we go. All right. Now, another thing you can do is you can face the stage and you can start going backwards and hold down that speed trigger, that accelerator, and teleport at the floor, and you'll be doing the Altspace moonwalk, right? Just like that. Pretty cool. You know, good stuff, right? And another thing you can do, and I learned this recently, is I was at an event and I had people like, coming around, because I go out in the audience a lot and I'm down on the bottom here, and then I needed to get back on the stage. And I did this on reflex. I didn't even know if you could do it. It just occurred to me. I reached over my head like this, and boom, I teleported backwards. You can totally do that. Just try it right now. Put your hand over your head like this and go boom, backwards, right? How cool is that? It's fun, all right? Actually, does that work with the left hand too? I never tried it with the left hand. Oh, there, oh, look at that. Well, I got far on that one. Oh, that's cool, all right. Neat. That's good. All right, cool. You know, a little further on the back, a little extreme. When I first started playing with this stuff, I was at the Universe, right? And back then it was held in a really large world. So what I did was I walked up, I was exploring the world when it was over, and I got up to the edge of the world, and I'm looking down off the edge, and I fell. And as I'm falling, I look over and I see this cliff off to the side, right? And what I did was I held out my teleporter, right? And I let go of the button, and boom, I was thrown onto that cliff to safety before I could respawn. All right, it's not like you can get hurt in Altspace, but at that moment I knew I was finally getting used to the controllers. Right, and you will too. It only takes a few days to a week, you know, and you'll notice, like, for example, there's going to come a point in time where you're always going to feel the plastic in your hands, but there's going to come a time where you don't think about the controls anymore. These are just going to become your hands. Like if I say, you know, hey everybody, look out that window right there, right? I don't think about how I'm pointing. I just do it. Right? And the way I'm doing this, just so you know, is if you hold down your middle finger on your grip button, you're going to see it's make both my hands go into a point. And I give everybody a Brooklyn hello like that. Everybody give me a Brooklyn hello. That's how we do it. I like that. Nobody? Nobody wants to get this back? All right, I see somebody doing it. I see Fury's doing it. Oh, wow, Fury, you really get into it. All right, cool. Another thing you can do is you can hold these up together, and you can make the Altspace logo, and you can hold that nice and high. Show them a small space logo, just like that. Now, if you twist your hands together like this, you can make kind of a picture frame. How cool would it be if you could take a screenshot like this, squeeze that trigger on there to activate like the shutter or the camera, go like this, you know, be like, yeah, all right, cool, just like that. Yeah, we can go like that, that. And now if you hold down those trigger buttons, you can give me 2 thumbs up, right? You know, maybe I'm not doing a good job up here. Maybe give me 2 thumbs down. Maybe you're not sure. You can give me a little bit of both, right? Maybe you can put them together like this. Right? Now, if you touch your thumbs to the buttons or the thumbsticks without pushing down, you're going to find that your thumbs go down. You can combine that into a cool dance move, right? Now, I'm told that this isn't as cool as it feels, right? Doesn't look as good as I think it does, but I like it. I keep on dancing just like that. Hey, Fury, it does look cool. Let me say, oh, fine, what do you got? Show me what you got. No? All right. Oh, there you go. Okay, that's a good one. What you can do, too, is one of the first quest times we ever had, right, was somebody came up to the stage and they started going like this, right? Because our event team name is Ravenhall, so they were kind of like acknowledging that by doing this, right? And you know what? That's how you pick this stuff up, right? If you see somebody doing something cool you like, you just mirror them. If you're going to do something with the body language, all right? So that's cool. Let me see, do something else, right? Okay, so she's doing this whole kind of spin thing. Now I'm going to try to copy it, all right? Like that? All right, yeah. All right, that's a good dance too. Hey, see, now she's giggling, right? You can convey a lot with just body language. You really can. It's good stuff, you know, and that's how you pick this stuff, by copying it. Right, and, you know, mirroring other people and what they're doing. Another button you need to be aware of, and this is a serious business, it's a very important button. Don't press it now because it will disappear. This flat button on your right control, you got to think of this as an eject button. This is the best way out of Altspace. If something important happens, like, you know, somebody walks in the room and says dinner's ready, and you're like, oh, gotta go, hit that flat button, and then you're out, right? You know, when that happens, you'll see a button to, you know, quit or resume. If you press resume, you can take them right back into Altspace. So if you're dancing at the Universe and your hand slips, right, all of a sudden, you know, you see quit or resume, you hit resume, you're back in Altspace, and you're looking around, you're still dancing. You're like, I don't think anybody even noticed I was gone. I hope nobody noticed I was gone, right? Just like that, and you can keep on going, right? But this is also a great button to push when things go wrong. All right. So let's say that you turn your head, right, and the whole world moves with you. That can make you feel kind of sick when that happens. So you're going to need to quick out. So you don't get sick. What you can do is you can just press that flat button on the right controller, right, and say quit and restart the app. And this is going to solve most of your problems. But every so often, what's going to happen is, like, let's say, you look up and all of a sudden there's a black void up at the edge of the screen. You're like, uh-oh, what's that? And you look to the left and there's a black void. And you look to the right and there's a black void. And you look down and you're like, oh no, it's spreading. What do I do? All right, remain calm. You're going to need to know how to restart your headset while it's still on your head. In the beginning, when I first got my Quest, I would restart my headset by taking it off, right? And what can happen is if it's not in a charge cycle and you have it plugged in and that light's not going on and it takes like 20 something seconds to restart the device, you're going to get the feeling, especially if you're in a rush, you're going to get the feeling like your device is broken. Right? And that's how I felt in the beginning. So I got in the habit, and you should too, of being able to restart your headset while it's still on your head. And the way to do this is you take your index finger and you swipe it up and down on the right side. And you're going to feel a raised up button there, right? Now you take your index finger on the other side and you kind of pinch them together. And when you do, look down in a deep concentration pose, right? Because in about 4 seconds, you're going to concentrate so hard that your avatar is going to just disappear. And you're going to get plunged into the darkness. After about 10 seconds, you're going to start wondering, why did Oculus make this take so long? I don't know. After about 15 seconds, you start thinking about friends you haven't seen in a long time. You wonder how they're doing, Then about 20 seconds go by, you start thinking about life. Start thinking about the big questions. And then after about 20 some odd seconds go by, all of a sudden, out of the darkness, you see the Oculus logo emerge from the darkness like the bat signal, right? And it starts to pulse. And when it starts to pulse, take your fingers away, just like that, right? And once you take it away like that, your device will start normally. And that's going to solve most of the problems that you're going to have, not only in Altspace, but in other apps too, right? This is going to, put everything back in, into a good state. It's a good way to clear up temporary memory. If something's gone wrong, it's a good way to do it, right? Chris, you're pointing at your eyes like just like really. It's deep concentration. He's doing it. But you gotta look down when you do it, man. Look like concentration. Otherwise, it looks like you're pointing at your eyes, going, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, looking at me. And you look down, you're concentrating deep there, right? That's a good way to do it. All right. Now, another thing to be aware of, all right, and this is only for emergency use, all right, is the factory reset. An example of where you need to use it, something like this, is one time I come out of Altspace and I saw this notice on my screen that said, Oculus Home is closing. I'd never seen that before, and there was a blue button that said OK. So I pressed OK because it was the only option, and when I did, the screen just said loading. And I was like, that's weird. And I waited 2 minutes, and I said, something's wrong, deep concentration pose. All right, and my device restarted, and the screen still said loading. I knew something was serious wrong, so I asked my old friend Google about it. Google and I go back, and I asked Google about the things, and Google said, you know what? A lot of people are having this problem. The only way to solve it is with the factory reset. Be aware, if you ever need to use the factory reset, if you have any photographs on your device, you're going to lose them, and you're going to have to reinstall all of your apps, right? Good news is you won't have to pay for them again. It's going to put the headset back the way it was when you first got it. But it's good to know it's an option in case something goes seriously wrong. You can just, start over without having to, outlay the money. But you will lose your pictures and stuff, so it's a good idea to back those things up if you can. All right, now, let's see here. Now, if you're here today, you're already familiar with the Guardian system. You did the tour, right? You danced with the robot, you played with the limp thing. It was a lot of fun, right? But what you may not be aware of is how to use the Guardian system to your advantage in Altspace, right? Like I mentioned before, getting dizzy. If you get seen this in VR, if you're new to VR especially, one thing that you can do is you can hold your hand up like this to your face and just focus on the hand until the dizziness passes, and then slowly take the hand down away and take in the world around you. But you can also use your Guardian system to do this too. Now, I like to tell people that when you mess with the Guardian system, be very careful when you're walking around in space. You don't want to injure yourself or damage your equipment. A lot of times in Altspace, it'll be somebody walking along and they're having a good day, and all of a sudden, bam, they hit a wall. Right? That can happen. I've seen it happen. And you can actually see it. If it wasn't bad that people were getting hurt, it's actually kind of funny way you see them. It's like, bounce off a wall. Like you can actually see it in VR. I'm doing that. But you don't want to get hurt, is what I'm saying. All right, so what you can do, though, is especially if you're new and you're going to move around your play space, you're going to want to lead with your hands out. And as soon as you get down to the edge, right, you're going to see that grid appear in the air in front of you, right? But the thing is, you could still, like, let's say I walk up to my real-world wall right now, right? And as soon as I do, I see that grid appear, right? And as it appears, I can still move my thumbsticks. And as I move my thumbsticks around, what I can do is I can go over to the screen here, right? And I can line up the screen with my real-world wall, all right? And then I can back away, I can take it all in, thinking, yeah, that looks good. Now I got a frame of reference to the real world. And then maybe suddenly, uh-oh, I've fallen off the stage. I'm in the audience. What do I do? Let's say the audience gets all hostile, right? You guys come and be over here and try to stick your hands in my face. Go ahead, try to make me dizzy. Do your worst. Let me see what you got, people. Let me see what you got. All right, now, as long as I can see that display in front of me, and I can because it's huge, that's a really good job, but I can still see the screen there and there. You guys have gaps over there. There's a gap right there, gaps in the fingers. You'll notice I'm not breaking my sentences. I'm having no problem talking whatsoever, right? And, another thing you can do, which is really cool, right, is basically you're making an anchor to the real world this way. And you don't have to use something big like the screen like that. Let's say you have a table or a desk in your play space. You can line up the edge of the stage with this, right? Just like that. And you'll have now a frame of reference that you can lock onto. And this is going to help you feel more stable when you're in VR. Another thing you can do is you can transition from a standing experience to room scale experience to a stationary experience pretty effortlessly in Altspace. One time, let's say I'm up here and I'm like, you know what, this is the second event I'm doing today. And I got to be honest, I'm exhausted. All right, I've done over 300 events. I'm just tired. I'm really starting to feel it. What do I do? What you can do is if you go up to the edge of your guarding system, and now they have a new feature. If you go in experimental features, all you have to do is just double tap the side of your device, and that pass-through camera will go off, right? And I'll see, oh, I got my coffee right here. I can drink that coffee, and I can throw the mug down because I'm done with it, right? Let someone else clean that up. And then we've got my chair over there, and I can go on over into my chair like this, and I've got this blue button on my screen asking if I want to have a stationary experience. I can sit down, right, and get into the chair there and hit that blue button. And as soon as I do, I'm going to find I'm still in VR. As a matter of fact, I'm still in Altspace. The only difference is I'll be down here now, and I'm going to have to press down that left thumbstick to pop up, right? This works in the other direction too. Let's say that I'm sitting down and I get the urge to get up and walk around. It's happened to me one time when I was moderating for an event, right? And I go to stand up and I go to walk into my guardian. It's usually how it works. But occasionally the Quest is going to lose your guardian system because of changing light levels, and for one reason or another, it can't resolve where it is, and it just figures it's easier, to just let you draw another boundary out. But you know what? If there's 2 minutes left in the event, it's not so easy. And I'm like, oh no, what do I do? So I start drawing my boundary out again, right? And I'm like, why my play space have to be so big? I don't know. And of all the days to moderate for an admin period, why did it have to be today? Why? Right? I don't know. So I go in and I close the loop, right? And as soon as I close the loop, you're going to notice the Guardian system comes up out of the ground. Not only am I still in VR, but I'm still in Altspace. I never left. All anybody sees is my hands out like this, frozen. Well, I have my out-of-avatar experience, right? Just like that. I always pause there, and one time I actually lost my connection when I was doing that, right? And everybody's like out in the audience staring at me, like, wow, he's really invested in the dramatic pause. Look at that. And what happened was my avatar just disappeared. I only came back a couple minutes later. We always had occasionally, but it was pretty funny when it happened because it was like very well timed. All right. Now, one cool thing that you can do, and this isn't like that it's useful, it's just fun to do, and it's just kind of interesting to do it. If you go up to your Guardian and you stick your head through it, make sure you got enough room. Stick your hands out first. But as soon as you stick your head through it, that pass-through camera that goes off, if you do this super slow, you're going to be able to see both realities at the same time, right? You go super slow like that, you'll be able to see Altspace avatars in your home environment. And this will really give you a good sense of how tall avatars are. Like, you know that avatars are about 6 feet tall, and they're much wider than you would think too. And you're not going to really notice this until you see them in your living room or, in your office, wherever you do your VR from. When you see them in a familiar environment, you get a real sense of the scale. All right. One of the great things about the Quest is it just works. That doesn't mean it can't work better. There's a lot of great accessories that you can get for the Quest, like those earbuds that kind of hang down from the side. I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but I'm wearing these things. I like to think I look fancy, right? First time I wore these things, I went to the campfire, and I went to the campfire. You guys know there's a breeze in the campfire? Nobody told me that. I went over to the side of that fence there, and I heard the water rushing by. And you know what? I've been in Altspace for over a year, and I didn't know that you could hear those things. It turns out there's a lot of rich ambient sound in Altspace that can make this experience so much more immersive. It's really great and worth trying out. Now, one thing that Oculus does not advertise enough is there is a breaking in period with your headset, right? The oils in your face will actually soften the insert on your headset. And a lot of people get the impression that the Quest is uncomfortable. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to get a counterweight. I'm going to get a battery pack, put it on the back there. I'm going to get all these different accessories that you can get to change the balance of your headset. And then you know what's going to happen. The headset, after it gets broken in, the balance is going to change again. And then you're going to be one of those people that think that the Quest is uncomfortable, right? If you're going to modify your device, don't do it until you've lived with it for a couple of weeks of use. All right. This way, you know it's fully broken in before you do anything that's going to change the balance, like a counterbalance weight. But if you do find it still uncomfortable, what you can do is you can get these inserts from VR Cover. It's like your face is in a pillow. They're extremely comfortable. All right. Really great things. Also, you have these prescription inserts if you wear glasses. This is great to protect your glasses and to protect your headset lenses, because if you scratch both of those, that can get pretty expensive. And speaking of protecting your equipment, the box the Quest comes in is fantastic. But if you're going to travel around, you can, this travel case here is really great. It's a good idea to protect your headset, because listen, if you leave your device like out in like sunlight or something like that and it gets damaged, it's not going to be like losing your toaster, especially if you spend a lot of time in Altspace. You've made friends in here. I've seen this happen. People register it like it's an actual loss. Now, listen, if you want to try any of these products, we've made them super easy to find. If you go to altvr.com and if you go up to where it says channels, right, you're going to see all these Altspace event channels, and down toward the bottom there, you're going to see Ravenhall events, like it says up on that sound booth there. If you press on that, you get taken to our event channel, and on the left-hand side of the page, you have links to all these products if you like to try them. There's also a join Discord button there if you want to help us put on events like this. You need to get in touch with us, you want to ask us questions and things like that. There's also the most important button on the internet on that page, but you didn't know that. It's the subscribe button. And when you press that, it lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content. Plus, we don't get paid to do this, and it makes us feel good every time we see that number go up. So if you enjoy our content, right, that's a great way to say thank you. All right, now we are going to be taking your questions. Oh yeah, also if you are watching on YouTube and you want to try on those products, you'll find the links are in the description now of any Quest Time episode. So if you want to try them, you can find them there. Now we are going to be taking your questions and your comments. Maybe you tried an accessory I haven't mentioned, you want to tell us about it, and you're going to see a raise hand button appear on your lower right as if by magic. Right? And so all you have to do is press that to get on our list, and we'll call on you, and I'll get to feel like a radio host calling on your name. Whoa, that just lit up. We got a lot of people today. All right, we've got Maddie. Maddie, what's up? Maddie, you're on the air. What's going on? Maddie?
So,
speak to me, Maddie.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's up?
I got the Go. So,
okay.
I just want to know, I've had it for like almost a year. Like, probably a couple months almost, like 8 probably.
Okay.
And it's not the...
Uh-oh. We just lost Maddie. All right. I was just about to tell Maddie about go time. We're going to teach, to tell him about avoiding just what happened. You just overheated, didn't you?
Wait, sorry. Yeah.
You just overheated. Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
You're going to want to check out an event called Go Time. We can solve that overheating problem. We can make it so you never overheat again on the Oculus Go.
Okay.
Okay? Also, I see Fury has a question, and that's unusual. Let's see. Fury, what's your question? What's up?
It's not a question. I just wanted to call out Eponymous Bosch for exemplary body language during the show. I saw him tossing his hand. Eponymous Bosch? Right here, in the green. Exemplary body language, right here.
Okay.
Amazing.
Let me see.
Amazing. Look at his hands. Look at his hands. Watch his hand.
All right. I'm not seeing anything here.
Round.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Round of applause, please.
All right. Yeah. Nice. Well done. Yeah. Body language goes a long way here. I love seeing new stuff people are doing. If you like what Eponymous Bosch is doing, if I hope I'm saying that right, or Epony Mouse or Eponymous Bosch, if you like what you're seeing him do, copy him, right? Just, try to duplicate those movements that he's doing, right? Yeah, like that. That's very cool. Look at that. It's like the whole side thing going up there like that, right? Everybody, we got like some kind of movement exercises going on up here. Everybody do this back and forth, just like that. Get some like Altspace aerobics going on or something like that. Can do that. That's cool. All right. Let's see. Got time for one more question here. Let's see. Mew. I hope I'm saying that right. It's M-I-E-W. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. Right there. What's up?
I'm on a Mac, and I just want to know, is there a way that I can build a world, or is there a preferred way to build a world? Everything I'm seeing is PC.
It depends. You said you're on a Mac, you said?
Yeah.
All right. And how are you connecting? Like, are you on a Quest?
Oh, on a Quest. If I can do it in the Quest, that'd be great.
All right, cool. Well, there's a few options and routes that you can go when it comes to world building. The first thing you want to do is get comfortable with the world editor first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have beta enabled, by going to your main menu, go into settings, enable world beta, and I'd also recommend checking off the participate in early access program, because it's going to give you access to a lot of different publicly available kits. We're about to go to a world right now that was built in 2 days on a mobile device. It was built on the Oculus Go. You can get an idea of what you can do with the world editor by looking at some of these worlds, right? I'd also encourage you to, go on the world tours and see what people have done. On the Oculus Quest, you can get a program called Gravity Sketch. That's one way to do it. They're the Unity uploader that will allow you to upload custom content to Altspace. Right now, the Mac isn't supported, but I heard that Anthony Madden, the one who developed the uploader, is actually working on, or will be at some point working on, a Macintosh equivalent. A lot of people get around this by using a PC emulator to bring content in Altspace. So you do have options. You could also collaborate with people in Altspace that can help you. Like if you give them the object file, maybe they can bring it in through Unity. You know, so you do have options that are available to you.
So
you know, when it comes to
World
world
Space
building.
Builder and
But I
what was the
think
other one?
what to say? I'm sorry.
What was the second one? I remember World Space Builder, but what was the second one?
The second one of what? You
Yeah,
have Unity
way to do
Builder,
No,
Unity,
before
and you do
that.
it through a PC emulator. That's one way to do it. But I think if you're just starting out, the best thing you could do is get really super comfortable with that world editor. You know, just go into your own world. You'll have a starter world that'll say Muse World, and you go in there and just play with the world editor, experiment with it, and see what you can build. All right, and that's a great way to get started. You know. Also, if you go to the SDK meetup, you can ask questions. What's up, Fury?
If I may, did you mention the world's beta program?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I even
no,
went
I
through the
missed it.
menus
Excuse me.
that describe
Excuse me.
how to open that.
Excuse
You know,
me.
but yeah, Fury's actually a very accomplished world builder too. You know, so we're about to go over to one space, and if you do have world building questions, or if you have any questions at all from anybody, we'll be happy to take them there. What we're going to do right now is we are going to first of all, we're going to unmute everybody. All right, because I like hearing that people
I have a
react to
quick
this.
question.
What's your quick
The
question?
guy
What's up?
who asked the complicated questions about the SDK.
Yeah, what's up, Brent?
Questions about should I ask the SD questions in the SDK meetup? You think they'll know about it, or?
Yeah, actually, the SDK meetup is a great place to ask SDK related questions. It's also a great place to ask world building questions as well.
See,
I can't recommend the SDK.
question to this kind of stuff and all that.
Wait, say that again?
I thought you knew the answer to those kind of questions, or something like that.
Well, I'm going to know the answer to some of them, of course, but actually, the person that runs the SDK meetup is an Altspace admin that works directly with the SDK, and he's going to know a lot more than I will about it. That's for sure. You know. All right. What we are going to do, speaking of the SDK, is we are going to press the big red button. This is going to take us over to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. When we have these hovercraft that you guys can fly there, and we're going to see one of them fly down the street here. It's going to go up over those trees and land in that yard there. Okay. So what you can do now is I'm going to press this button here, direct your attention out that window.
Ravenhall Talon aircraft en route to your position.
Here it comes. Now it's going to go fly down the road there, and it's going to meet us in that backyard. So if you guys have learned anything here today, please share it with all those you come in contact with. So if you're in a campfire and somebody's stuck in the ground, and you say, "What's wrong?" Like, "I'm on a quest and I'm stuck in the ground. What do I do?" Right? You just tell them to push down the left thumbstick. They'll pop up. They'll feel better, and then you'll feel better because you helped somebody, and that's going to help keep this thing going. All right. It looks like Alan Hovercraft is coming in for a land in here. It's going to pop out a portal, and this is going to take us off to the flight academy.
Talon aircraft is now boarding outside for transport to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. Please exit the building and step into the blue light. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everybody. You've been a great audience. See you next time.